to another video of mine. So this is a pre-recorded video that I took before he actually turned 6 months this October, and I just wanted to give like an update on how life has been for our family, as well as me being a mom for the past 6 months, and how things has been, like whether is it very crazy, whether are we coping these 6 months, and I will share with you like my thoughts and views. So let's go. So baby Ron is turning 6 months old finally this October, and to commemorate this 6 months journey, I decided to, film a video on how our family is actually coping. So basically these 6 months has been crazy. Let's do a recap. So we had a nanny for the first 3 weeks, and it was really a blessing to last minute find a nanny, and I'm glad that she's around to help out, which she is of really great help during the first 3 weeks of baby Ron's arrival. And then after that 3 weeks, things has been very crazy for all of us, because me, Daddy Ron and baby Ron, the 3 of us are actually trying to adapt as being a new parent, and for him to adapt as a baby arriving to this world as well. So there's so many things that is so crazy. He's constantly crying, he's at a cranky face, he's at his colic face, that the crying just go non-stop, and I am caring for him alone. When the nanny left, we do not have like parental support, because my mom works and my parents-in-law are busy themselves on their own. So I'm pretty much myself, and Daddy Ron has to go to work. Yeah. Anyway, so things has been very crazy after the nanny left, like for the first 1 to 2 months. But I think we kind of like settle with a routine. 2 weeks to 3 weeks into me taking care of him alone. So most of the time we set out with a routine of like him waking up, his feeding time, me showering him, and then playtime. And thankfully his awake time back then, right, was actually not as long as now, as he's growing older. So he's pretty much sleeping, drinking all the time, pooping, peeing, changing diaper and things like that. But it was very crazy then, because he was constantly crying because of his colic, and he couldn't put himself to sleep. So most of the time we have to put him in the sarong, which is the rocker, and we have to constantly carry him and things like that. So it was very crazy at the beginning, because he was drinking so much milk, like every 2-3 hours. That time was every 2 hours, 1 hour plus 2 hours, he always cry for milk. I don't know whether is it milk or is it he's just colic, and then we have to like figure out like what is he crying for back then. So the first 2 months it was very crazy, and then when we are more settled with the routine and he's more settled with his colic, right, it's about time that my maternity leave ends, and for us to send him to infant care. And I'll talk more about the infant care like another time. So anyway, sending him to the infant care is the best decision ever. I mean, like, there's a lot of opinions out there, I know, like, why do you send him to infant care? He's still very young, he doesn't know blah blah, that kind of thing. But then you have to understand that as a working mom, and we do not have parental support, it's very difficult to care for him alone, unless I quit my job and like, take care of him full time. But it's very difficult, because we really want to provide him with the best we can. So we really need like 2 parents to be working. So shout out there to those working mom, and also not forgetting stay-at-home mom is also very difficult, because I myself look after him the whole time for the last 2 months, and it's really not easy. Full-time mom does not, stay-at-home mom or full-time mom does not have like off days, rest days or whatever. Even though I'm a working mom now, I also do not have like off days, rest day, and the only time I get is like me time is when everybody goes to work and everybody goes to school. So I get to have like my me time when I'm working, which is like less stress actually. So yeah, that is pretty much like very like our life now. So back to like sending him to the infant care. So sending him to the infant care is the best decision ever, because with him in the infant care, I get to work like with a peace of mind, knowing that he's in good hands up to now, thankfully. And also that during that period when he's school, I get to do the chores that are not done. Basically it's his chores lah, because although we have like part-time helper to come once a week, right, but weekly chores or daily chores like the bottles, washing the bottles, cleaning up his bed, and like topping up the necessities, grocery shopping, even though it's online, but I need time to go and like, you know, screen through what needs to be done or get for the house. And also packing up the place, because with a baby at home, right, it can be quite chaotic and you have no energy to actually pack up the house. Other than him going to school, I have the time to pack up the place when he comes back. Doing his laundry, so even though we have like a part-time helper, right, to do the weekly chores, I will not let her do his laundry. Basically anything pertaining to BabyRon, right, I'm doing it. Yeah, like his laundry, folding his clothes, washing his clothes and things like that, washing his bottles. Yeah, so Daddy Ron play his role when he comes home after work. So basically he washes his after school bottles and like whatever things that he used during the school period, Daddy Ron wash. And we take turns to like wash his bathtub after he shower, because after he shower we cannot wash the bathtub immediately. We have to like settle him first, calm him down, make him to sleep. Then only when he's sleeping we are able to like clear up the stuff. Yeah, so Daddy Ron has been helping around at home too, and pretty much that's about it. And for BabyRon milestone, right, I would say that he's growing very well, and he's a big boy now that he's 6 months old. He can pretty much do a lot of things now more than before. So I'm actually starting him on like, I have already started him on like puree. So I know he's very young because he haven't even hit 6 months yet, but he's actually taking it very well, because I read online that you can actually start puree like between 4 to 6 months, it depending on the child development. But after my assessment, I feel that BabyRon is very stable sitting down, and also very stable during his tummy time, and he started flipping as well. His neck is really very strong, so that's why I decided to start him early on like puree, so that, you know, he can drink lesser milk. Yeah, and he doesn't only depend on the milk powder lah. So yeah, he still take his like daily doses of milk. It's about 4 to 5 feeds now, and he's taking very well. Even his like infant care teacher say that he can like drink the milk very well if he's being fed on demand. So I told the teachers as well, you don't need to go by like 2-3 hours you feed him, because he will not finish his milk, trust me. So you only fed him or feed him when he calls for it, like when he cry or crank for it, right? That is the time that you feed him his portion of milk. He will finish his milk like within 5 minutes. I am not kidding. Some baby takes like a longer time to finish his meal, or take like several feeds to finish like 1 bottle of milk, right? Trust me, if he is being fed on demand when he calls upon it, right, he can finish his milk within 5 minutes with no fussiness at all. So I'm glad that he's doing that. And he showered twice a day. So in the day before I send him to school, I just clean him up and like wipe him down, and then the school will shower him, and I will shower him as well when he's back home before he goes to bed and after his like meal time. Yeah, so other milestones will be, I am actually wanting to start to train him to like drinking water, because he's turning 6 months already, through like a sippy cup or through a straw. So I'm still waiting for his bottle to arrive to start him on that. But I had actually start training him to hold his own milk bottle with the handles already. He's doing it really very well, and I'm glad that he's actually being very independent in like things like that lah. So with minimal supervision lah, okay. So yeah, he's actually learning quite fast in terms of like physically wise. Yeah, educationally wise, I'm not too sure yet, because like we talk to him often and things like that. He seems to understand, But when we ask him like where's your head, where's your eyes, he still doesn't seem to like know how to point. But I'm not too sure, he's still very young to judge. But we are doing our best as parents to educate him, like making learning fun, as well as like the school also do their part in educating him, I guess, because they do like many activities with him in school, actually more than the activities that we did at home. And sometimes if we are really busy with the chores, I have no choice but to on the TV for him, so that he will be distracted for that moment while we do our chores or when we settle his thing, especially when he has like massive poop and we really need that time for him to be alone, not calling for us while we clear like the mess that he had actually made. Yeah, so far things has been getting better, I guess, and I feel that he's really growing too fast, and I want him to like slow down a little bit now, because this is like the fun period where he's very fun to play with. He's very smiley, he's a very smiley baby, and this is the feedback that I get from school. And you know, he's a very happy baby. He only cries and cranks when he's really tired and if he wants to sleep. Other than that, he's very well behaved. I would say he's smiling, he's playing, he's eating, he's drinking. Nothing more I would ask for a 6-month-old baby. I think he's growing quite well, and he's very loved by a lot of people from our family, the teachers. I'm glad that the teachers treats him really well after hearing like so many stories, you know, of like children and childcare. So yeah, so I mean, like sending him to infant care so far, I would say is really the best decision for us, you know, as a family. And we are learning and adapting every day. You know, it's like a new experience for us. He have a lot of pattern every day lah, you know. So yeah, this is the updates of us being parents and of baby Ron these 6 months. And this video is to record his milestone and our milestone as parents too for these past 6 months. So that's all for today. Bye.